Alrighty guys, here we go. We got another 2v2 here with me and Shad playing once again. This game will be me and Shad versus Salvation and Gasper. Gasper will be playing the blue protoss, and Salvation will be playing the red terren, while I again will be playing the Zerg, like always, and Shad will be playing this time the light blue protoss. So obviously I go for my normal overlord scout there. I'm just probably going to go for, I believe I went for a 13 pool in this game. 13 gas, 13 pool. We see Shad here. He's going to do a sort of wall off here, just to minimize the amount of units that can move up here. Obviously, we see here a Terran player walling off, very common in the Bronze League area and Silver area, very common wall off here. And it'll be a split wall off with the Protoss also walling off. So if we see here, we got Gasper coming in here, and he is doing some scouting for his team here. So we'll look at production. As we see, Salvation making a barracks. Me, I'm just going for drones at this point. Yep, you see me, I've queued up this worker to go straight to the gas. And, yep, go straight in, make that extractor. This one's going to go over here and make the pool, while I sneak in here to do some scouting. Go check it out here. Obviously, I saw if they walled off the base. It wasn't walled off enough, though, so I could still get in. I go around here, look around. I see that, you know, he's gone for several SCVs and just put down the gas. So there we go. He just put down the double gas, which means he's either going to go, probably not Reaper, because, you know, he used the barracks to wall off. It's a bit later in the game, so he's probably not going to go Reaper, but he probably will go Marauder Marines later. So I go around, I see he put the pylon behind, and I see that he's putting the gateway up there. So I'm just going to go around, just run around a little bit, see when he decides to put up the gases. But at this point, I see that he's about to finish the wall off, so I need to get out of there. Don't want to lose this drone and have him trapped there. Go check out. No expansion, no nothing like that. So, got my overlord sitting here, gonna be able to tell me when the Terran player goes for this expansion here, which will definitely help in me and Shad knowing when the economy's really gonna start booming for this Terran player. So here, the Terran player, very normal, going for Marines, moving out. Me here, I have just my first batch of 6 Zerglings coming out here. Got the spawning pool, got the speed upgrade going. I got this Zergling this drone here going for that expansion. Boom, got that expansion. These Zerglings gonna go off, chase down that drone. They're gonna chase him out of here, and we're just obviously gonna turn around and just go home. Not worth chasing him all the way down. See here, he's gonna go for a double rack there. That will definitely help. He's obviously at this point, you can see, going Marauders. He's put them in here. He's got 2 Marines and 1 Marauder in here, just to stop any type of quick attack in here. He saw that indeed I did have Zerglings, so obviously at that point you're expecting, well, he's probably there. The Zerg player's probably going to do something. At this point, I'm just grabbing a bunch of Zerglings, got the expansion started. Here we go. We got the queen going. I building this queen here, which I'll transfer to that hatchery. This hatchery overall, I've taken all my units off of the extractor because I'm just going for Zerglings at this point. Right here, building a few overlords because I am indeed supply blocked, so I do need to fix that. There we go. No problem. Give me some leeway for plenty of them. See, the speed upgrade is up now. And he does indeed have Marauders going, and I believe he will go for Marines in a bit as well. He's got anti-air here on the mineral line to keep the mineral line secure. Nothing's going to come in there. You've got the robotics bay going up. So instantly, if you see the robotics bay going up, you're thinking one of two things, really. Oh, here we go. We got the Stargate going up. So, yep, He's either going for an observer, maybe a warp prism, but most likely a quick observer to let us know what's going on over there. Then maybe he'll go for immortals after. Here with the Stargate, he's obviously going to probably go for oracles. Oracles for harassment. See here, I got plenty of Zerglings going up. We're going to run them up there. Shad says, no, pull back, regroup over here, and then we can move forward from there. Shad's got Zealots coming in. He's got a forward pylon going up right here. That way he can warp in units here, so they're not too far in the zone, but they'll be able to warp in there, and we can move them straight into here. We've got this expansion kind of starting to go. I decided not to carry any units over from here because I wanted to keep that, keep the minerals coming in there. And here we take out that expansion there. He does not. You want to go back just a few seconds. We'll be able to see it. All right, here we go. Just about right here, 740 mark. We'll be able to see he does go for this expansion here with the pylon and the nexus. We go in for the attack here. We see the expansion, and we just charge straight in here with my Zerglings to wipe out that expansion before he's able to cancel it. And because he didn't cancel it, he just lost that 400 minerals right there. Didn't get any of it back. We see here Gasper, and then Gasper will, or Shad will throw down the slowing right there, which will he will slow down the time warp there, which will slow down those units from moving around. But they will take out his mothership core, and we're just pretty much forced to pull back at this point. It's just way too difficult at this point to get anything going here. And you know, at this point, you just kind of gotta go for banelings at this point. You gotta either try and go for air and go for a bit more late game, or go for a baneling bust right here in the center here, break through one of these supply depots or two of them, and just go in from there, move straight from there into this mineral line over here, and just wreak havoc. And at this point, we were going to hold our forces here pretty much just to deny this expansion here. Just make sure that we can delay this expansion as long as possible from either one of the players, and keep either one of them from being able to move in. At this point, you know, I got 61 Zerglings here, a good bit of Zerglings, so if anything tries to come down here, it's going to be tough for it to do anything. And see here, we got the Stargate, so he wasn't going for Oracles. Instead, he went for 2 Phoenixes, which with 2 Phoenixes, he's obviously going to move in, try and do some harassment. Shad, able to expand here, a little bit late, but he's still able to expand. Gasper here, watching my expansion. Nothing amazing, though, going on at my expansion right now. And these Oracles will move out. Shad does spot them right there and warns me about it, and I throw up this Spore Crawler here, but it's just not, I don't have enough time to react here, and they're just going to hunt down these Overlords here. I'm going to try and pull them in to be in the range of my Queen, but they do focus down my Queen here, and just start doing damage on him. As we can see here, Shad's lost a lot of units here. He's 1,600 minerals down, or resources down in units lost, but both Protoss players very similar in units lost. Me at this point only 25 resources down with units lost. I've only lost 1 unit. Excuse me. So just not a big deal. Overall, the units lost and everything, just not a problem. I do move this Spore Crawler here back to the behind the mineral line to deny another push by these Phoenixes, which have gone back here, but will not dare move up towards the Spore Crawler at all. It's just, it wouldn't be a good idea for them to try and move there. At this point, I do put a Spore Crawler up here, just in case he decides to shift the attention from the expansion to the main base. I do have Banelings at this point. I got the Baneling Cocoon going up. I'm telling Shad, just hold them for a minute, hold them for a minute. The Banelings do hatch, and at this point, you know, just moving in. That Marauder, obviously, Marauder's so good against Banelings, man. Just able to completely deny Banelings every time. They just eat the damage from a Baneling. At this point, we have this medevac here, and we're just unable to delay this expansion any longer. At this point, this red player did not expand at all at this point, which is definitely going to be something to hurt him in the late game, as his economy just won't be high enough to play along with all the rest of the players. See, the economies are very similar at this point, um, but obviously I'm down with drones at this point, but I do have more coming. I will have be fixing this economy at this point. We've got the extractors going. We got full gas production going on. Still a hatchery up here. We will turn that into a lair right now, and as soon as that's done, I will be going for the spire to go for the mutas, either to harass or for the all-in towards the end. I do start cocooning some banelings here, just in case they do go for a counterattack, which I wouldn't advise them to go for a counterattack, just because the only good weapon they have at this point are these immortals, which will indeed just tear up zerglings, but just I don't think that it would be advised for them to move at this point. I don't believe their economy is well enough for them to move in at this point. As you see here, he's going for mass phoenixes. He's just going to go for take down any type of aircraft that can come in there and mess with him. And then eventually, so he's going to try and deny us the aircraft. At this point, I'm going to go for the expansion all the way over here, which would be which is a bit of a weird expansion here. But I'm going to take it as my third. These two phoenixes are going to fly over here, and they're going to land right over here. And they're obviously right now going to see me go for this expansion here. See me take that third. And I still have this pretty small overall army. I do have the spire going up right now, which will help in a second. With this, I do let him know, hey, the phoenixes saw me down here, so be advised he may send some stuff down there towards the bottom for a counterattack. But see, we have here Salvation moving out with a bit of a small force here, and because of this pylon here, I'm able to see this. If we look right here, my point of view, I am able to see just slightly, and because of this observer, the units right here, which I saw move into this small area over here. Which, you know, not bad. We were able to see that. I told Shad, you know, hey, watch your base right there. He does have some units going, but I'm unable to see this protoss army quite yet, which is overall, with what we have right now, that's very dangerous. And if they might have been able to win it, if they would have pushed it right now, yeah, Shad does have some Colossus, which will be pretty difficult. And my army overall, look at how threatening that is. Look at all those banelings. Just going to be so deadly in a second. I do have the baneling speed going up. I have another hatchery going up just to push on the Zergling numbers. Shad, with his observer, does see this Protoss army here, which is pretty terrifying overall, if I do say so myself. And here, still no robotics bay out, so unable to get Colossus for Gasper, but it looks like Gasper's just going to go for some sentries, stalkers, and some immortals, with a few zealots mixed in to do to tank some damage there. But he's just going to go for that. Gasper's obviously got this anti-air. He's got those phoenixes, so they're going to come in handy later. And just look at this. He's warping in sentries and zealots. They're obviously at this point going to go for a push here. Got some siege tanks to do damage to any of those. But we see here, I do have some mutas now coming out. He pulls the observer over and is able to see this army here. They push in. There goes Shad with his Colossus. Here goes my units, and I'm just going to go buck wild with this units here. I pulled them around here because I knew they destroyed the rocks. But here we go. We'll move them in here, and I'll just go straight in on it with those banelings, just doing an insane amount of damage, just cutting that center morale, taking out the sentry. The sentries that are in the back won't be able to react in time to save those front units, and the Terran player is just completely wiped out here. I will pull the mutas in. They will do damage to those phoenixes enough and take out those phoenixes. So they're just able to just take down that attack right there. And at this point in the game, I feel the enemy team, they knew that they couldn't beat us straight up. They couldn't even push us back at all. We just simply stood toe-to-toe with them and made them retreat. So at this point, we're going to see the Protoss player here, Gasper, go for the fleet beacon, as he most likely will either go for carriers or Tempests. At this point, it's kind of a moment where you gotta go, what do you go for at this point? I have mutas coming out, able to go. I have a good economy fluctuating. I've got a third saturated here, or somewhat saturated, not the mineral line very well, but here with the second, obviously the natural very good. The main base pretty decently done, and we're just gonna get a bunch of overlords here, spend a good bit of cash on some overlords here, and just use that to expand the supply here. That way I'm not supply blocked in the future, because I know they are massing still the forces, because Shad can still see with that observer. He can see them moving here. These siege tanks will go for the pylons here at Shad's base here, and that medevac just going to try and scout it out a bit. Just not going to be able to do anything really. I do have 13 mutas out at this point. More mutalisks will be on the way shortly, and not much of a land force. I knew Shad had the land completely locked down with these colossus. We'll take out any marines and things like that, and just these stalkers will be able to do so much damage to marines. Marauders would obviously be a scary sight, as we do know he has marauders, but my mutas will be able to take care of that. At this point, you know, I got 19 mutas out, which is a decent number of mutas at this point. I don't believe that anything he has here will be able to stand up to the mutas. My mutas would just fly in there if they wanted to and just do tons of damage to them. And here, just pumping out a bunch of banelings, turning pretty much every zergling into a baneling at this point, because I got the land taken over, and the zerglings and banelings are pretty much just going to be land, just ground forces to take a lot of the front damage from stalkers and colossus and things like that. I don't believe he ever gets, no, he never gets the robotics bay to pump out the colossus, but he is here going for carriers. He will have carriers here in just a second. Yep, carriers will be coming out instead of tempests, which I think is overall a good idea. The carriers will do a decent bit of damage to these mutas, but I just don't feel that his carriers will be able to, a few carriers will be able to take on the number of mutas that I am pumping out at this point. My economy a bit fragile at this point, but it's just so many zerglings at this point. At 28 banelings and 72 zerglings, enough to pretty much just take on that front force there. 19 mutas to just either do harassment, or at this point, we felt that it wasn't the point for harassment at this point. We knew that they were going to push at any moment. So there's no reason to push the army back. We saw this army sitting here. Shad saw them. We're moving in. I got my army ready here. The baneling speed on. Just going to go in from the side and just let those banelings have fun. Just completely tear apart that force there. I'm just going to send them in there straight into the Protoss force next. Just doing so much damage to the Protoss force there. The mutas will hang back for right now until I'm finished with the stalkers. Shad is able to see those carriers, which will be very dangerous against his units. His units won't be able, the colossus will just get torn up by them. So Shad does move up his forces, we see that, and I fly over the mutas and just going to solely target these carriers here, and we're just going to go for just completely wiping out this carriers. That's a lot of money. You look here, that's a lot of resources lost there at this point. The Terran player didn't do too much, went very basic, only expanded once and down to this rich mineral line. So, like I said, that is hurting him in the late game. He's not able to keep up with the economy to fight the armies here, and we're just going to go here for this rich mineral line that they have here, and we're just going to tear it apart here. Just deny it, not let them get anywhere farther at this point. We're just, you know, there's no minerals here at the main base, and I'm just going to come in here with these mutas and just reject this expansion here at this rich mineral line, and he's going to have no economy at this point. No money is coming in. We're going to just go for that destruction right there. He's got no money coming in, no ability to do anything. The probe count at this point It's just so weak for him. Only 13, 10, 11, 10 SCVs for the Terran player at this point. We've knocked on his front door. We're already here at the front door. Only have a few Zerglings left after that main contact. But we will pull in the mutas there. So many mutas right here also that I've just built. Let's see how many mutas I got here. 38 mutas at this point. That's just not, neither one of these players, even if they both tried together, would be able to stop this muta force here. These mutas right here just completely tearing apart this bunker here. Just not going to allow anything to come out of this bunker here. And just so many mutalisks right here. At that point, Gasper sees it and he knows it. It's over. There's no way that they're going to win. And Salvation, GG's as well. Actually, no GG from either one of them, but they knew it. They saw these mutas and they knew that it was pretty much over at this point. Shad was either going to, he was going to break through the front door and it didn't even matter because my mutas were already here. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that, this game right here. Comment, like, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next 2v2 or 1v1 that we show you from the BBOL. Peace.